Hi guys, it's Jared with Day Traders FX, and it's time for the daily video. We have a great setup to talk about, and I want to show you guys what I'm looking at on the pound dollar. Just remember, if you're interested in joining our live trading group, you can get a free trial at daytradersfx.com by clicking on About, and you'll see a couple of options in here. So come give us a visit. We'd love to have you stop by. Let's look at what we have coming up as far as news goes. We've seen a ton of news today already. You see all these announcements. These were all just today, starting with the services PMI with the UK. It's just gone down US and Canada. Lots and lots of news from both of those today. Then we have trade balance for Australia coming up this afternoon. Tomorrow we have a ton more news, and it's very pound sensitive, so we're going to talk about the pound dollar, and this is going to be something important to keep in mind. And we have some Euro and US and Canadian news tomorrow as well, so it's a pretty big news day coming up. Okay, here's what I'm looking at on the pound dollar. You guys may have noticed in some of the tweets I've been sending out, there's a big emphasis and a big push on missed pivots. Big on missed pivots, and it's because they're so dang fantastic, and there's so much good stuff to talk about with missed pivot points. The pound dollar is a good example of this. We have two missed weekly pivot points. I love the weekly pivot points. I think they're so great. So here is one of our weekly pivot points right here, and it's just 60, a little over 60 pips away from current market price. So this is going to be a good little solid point. Now remember, the market loves to come back to these weekly pivot points, and likewise, when it gets close enough, it kind of just starts to touch them. And we've made several attempts at this weekly pivot point without hitting it yet, and so that's usually a pretty good sign that it's going to get hit very soon, probably in the next several hours. But that's good because that gives us a great trading opportunity. And then remember, we have another missed weekly pivot back here at 160.50, about 53. So that's a couple of hundred pips away, a little over 300 pips away, and that's another great target. So it definitely puts a little bit of downward pressure on this uptrend, but the uptrend may not be over just yet. So what I'm looking at on the pound dollar here is that on the daily chart, you can see that we've had some pretty intense price rejection up here at about 164.40, a couple of shooting stars. But now we're kind of turning that around with this nice little hammer. We'll see if we can break that high. It's going to be important to get to that high and break that high. And if we do, then I think we're probably headed to maybe the 2011 highs, which are around 16700. But from there, I am so absolutely positively short in pound dollar. When and if we get up, really up above probably 16600. Which isn't super far away, a little over 200 pips. If we get above that, I'm so short I can't even stand it. But we've got to wait till we get there. So what I'm looking for in the meantime is the fact that we've had this pound dollar with, again, missed weekly pivots, a couple of missed daily pivots, and so on here. I'm looking for this to dip down. It hasn't touched a 200 moving average for a while. It hasn't touched this trend line for a while. And we've got this weekly pivot that's almost nagging at it. But when we have the overlap of the 200 moving average and the weekly pivot point, that is such a strong support or resistance area. And then we've got this trend line kind of creeping up through here as well. You can see these are all right about 16300. Now 16300 is pretty important because this is where we started to kind of break out of these highs. Remember, this high here was about well, actually, if we go back to last year, the high was 162.80. So there's a lot of kind of support and so on right there. This is a great area to get long pound dollar. So I'm looking to buy that dip around 16300. I'm looking to target. Just take this thing up as high as I can. First target would obviously be these highs of about 164.40, and if we can break through that, I'm going to hold on to it till 165 and even 16600 if possible. So, but I'm looking to buy that dip somewhere around 16300. I think that'll be a great area, great spot to get in and start taking this thing way up. So that's what I'm looking for. Best of luck, guys. Questions, comments, please follow me on Twitter and let me know if you have any questions or any comments about this, and I'll have more updates coming up regarding some other pairs and regarding this pair as it starts to set up more and play out more. So best of luck, guys, and we'll see you on Twitter and in the chat.